July 12, 2016. Roll call, please.
Mayor Parisi.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Keaton.
Here.
Councilman LaCuro.
Here.
Councilman Ledger.
Here.
Councilman Selmy.
Here.
Invocation.
Robert E. Wilson was laid to rest today. He was a resident of Hazel Park, a veteran serviceman, and we thank him for his service. May we observe a moment of silence, please, in honor of the victims of the attack in Dallas, Texas. Father, our hearts are broken for those noble police officers who were murdered in Dallas, Texas. We pray for their families. May you comfort them and encourage them in this time of tragic loss. We pray for America. We are in deep trouble. May you have mercy on us. May you bring us together at this critical time. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. We thank you for our first responders, for our outstanding police department and their leadership, and the great work they do in serving and protecting this community. For our fire department and its chief. May you protect them, shelter them beneath the shadow of your wings. Thank you for our civic leaders who serve with distinction and with honor. We ask your blessings upon these proceedings tonight. Give wisdom to all discussions. May all decisions be according to your will. For all you do, we give you the praise. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of agenda.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Civic announcements. Public discussions. Ms. Holland?
Speak loudly because we only have one microphone from that camera to pick up.
Have you ever known me not to speak loudly? Beth Helen, 305 West Milton. Want to announce the next Neighborhood Watch meeting, which is going to be Tuesday, July 19th, 7 p.m., and this is really, really cool. We are going to be relocating from the high school to the Erickson Library Building, 45 East Pearl. This is going to be the permanent home of Brian's office and also where our meetings are going to be held. And it is a fantastic space. So we'll learn about things in the community where my mom used to do book reports. Although we're going to be meeting in the adult wing of the library. So for folks who don't know where that is, 45 East Pearl, you can see the building from John R. It is between Hitchcock Realty and Tabernacle Baptist Church. And there is plenty of street parking for a normal crowd. We have overflow. The Masonic Temple, which it still looks like the Masonic Temple, we have permission to use their parking lot there for our meetings. This next meeting, I've asked Jeffrey Russell Campbell if he could come in and talk about CNU and all the great things that are happening on John R. I've not heard confirmation on that, so hopefully Jeff can come in and address our. However, our animal control officer, Justin Howland, no relation, Justin will be addressing our group and sharing, there's been a lot of questions about licensing and what the process is, and say no one goes missing, what's the first call you make other than standing out on the street screaming your head off? There's a process to where we get your animals back to you quickly, and Justin is looking forward to sharing a lot of the things that he's learned over the past few months and where the animal control office is going. So Tuesday, July 19th, 7 p.m., 45 East Pearl, Neighborhood Watch. Thank you.
Thank you, Beth.
Any more civic announcements? Anyone up here? Not having?
One, I guess we can, there's the at Sellerman's Thursday, I believe it is, we have the Democrat Club meeting. There's going to be a whole lot of different elected officials there, state, county officials there. If you want to come in and talk to them, we'll be there. I believe it's at 7 o'clock.
16.
6 o'clock, 16, sorry.
No civic announcements? Public discussion?
Civic complaint, is that part of it or is that that?
Public discussion, you can go right up there, announce your name, and step up to the podium.
All right.
Address.
My name is Greg Luckenbill. I live at 1444 East Muir for 17 years. I've never attended a city council meeting, and it's a heavy burden on me to do this with a heavy heart. I will paint a little bit of a background and the nature of my complaint. Circa March 20th, 2014, I was coming home from school late at night, and I saw two men hanging out in a dark car on East Muir, my street, and I flicked my high beams to see if there was something going on. And that's when I understood that it was a police car and they're sitting dark. So as I passed them and like that, I didn't think any more of it. All I did was click on my high beams for a short moment, and the officer in the driver's seat turned his light backwards and hit me perfectly in the side mirror, blinding me in retribution. Okay, I turned the cheek. Circa spring of 2015, I called the non-emergency number in regards to some backyard theft of some groceries out of my yard. And I got pretty much bad attitude from one of the officers on the telephone. It basically amounted to, well, how can I help you? The police know. The police know. And he shorted himself of saying everything. And said, you know, I got passed from one officer to the other, and I just wanted to make it understood if you guys know what my complaint is. My groceries were stolen. They're only sitting there for a couple hours. But somebody got into my backyard and took them. All right, I turned the cheek. In the summer of 2015, my friend came to me and he was rattled because he just walked from the store, and he said there's a known scrapper going down our street, and he was picking something off the side of the building, and when my friend said, hey, put that back, come in, showed him two kitchen knives, like samurai style. And when we called the police, they said, okay, we'll send somebody out, and he never showed. Now, I'm a chef for 14 years. I don't cook anymore. I've got a very thick skin. All of those things, I turned the cheek. But on the 26th of last month, I'm not turning the cheek anymore. I turned the corner onto my street, East Muir, from the service drive, I-75, and I saw a lot of flashing lights and two big Comcast bucket trucks. And as I proceeded a little bit further, I couldn't really see anything that was going on until I got past the Comcast bucket trucks. And I saw that there was a fire truck in the parking lot of the unused plumbing Alliance, Allied Plumbing building or something like that. And I said, oh, well, I don't know, maybe they're flushing the fire hydrant or something, but there's a car in front of me that looks like a bad parking job, there's a car behind me, and I thought to myself, kind of running out of options
options here. It almost looks like I can squeeze past this car, and I don't even know what's going on. Is there an officer here? And so I was approached by an officer, and he said, turn your vehicle around. Can't you see a bunch of lights and turn around? And my reply was, well, I have that vehicle behind me. I have a large brick building obscuring my vision prior to my turn. I thought all these flashing lights were just the two Comcast bucket trucks. But I don't know, perhaps a roadblock because you can't see any of this from the surface drive. His reply was, turn the vehicle around before I impound the vehicle for driving on the sidewalk. And I said to myself, well, I'd have to be driving on the sidewalk for that to happen. And my reply was, I don't think that's going to happen. As I stated before, there's a car behind me and I can't turn around. So at that point, the officer, like that car turned around. I turned around, went 1 block around, came back to my street, and I stopped at the stop sign, and I saw where the officer had his vehicle blocking no traffic. I didn't see the officer. Pulled forward to the intersection, and then I saw the officer turn around to see me, and then he came to engage me. And I said, sir, you understand that I'm a tax-paying citizen of Hazel Park for 17 years. And he said, this is his reply, get out of here before I write you a ticket for writing a stop sign. That's when I asked for his name. I had to ask 3 times. And I'm concerned because this officer threatened to bear false witness against me twice. And that's all I have to say. I don't think that this officer's actions reflect on the department. I think this is an isolated event, but considering 3 prior incidences, I would consider that there's an atmosphere in the police department that may need some tweaking. I'm sorry to bring this to you, but in light of current events, this happened before the 5 officers were murdered, before the 2 black men were killed, and I think I was planning on coming here before all those events happened, and then immediately after those events happened, I thought to myself that, oh geez, they're going to think that I'm just bashing on cops or something. But in light of the current events, maybe this is the most appropriate time to bring this up. I didn't invent any of this. I have respect for the law, and I'm compliant. I have no record, and I have a hard time with this officer's behavior that would encourage any kind of respect for authority. It breeds contempt.
Could you let the lieutenant back there know exactly the exact times and the badge number you have at that time, and see if we can investigate it?
Sure.
Thank you very
Sure.
much.
Thank you.
Outside.
Any more public discussions? Having none? Oh, sorry, come. Okay.
Hi, my name is Tiffany Cup. I live on 23465 Vassar Avenue. I'm 10 years old, and I would like to discuss an issue concerning Tiski Memorial Park. Most kids that come to Tiski Park, they usually go straight away to the merry-go-round, and sometimes go to the swings. Ever since they took away the play structure, kids just want to sit down or just play on the merry-go-round all day. I wanted to know if we can have a play structure in Tiski Park. I already know that a church has some projects like movie night, trunk-or-treating, and a whole lot more. Some things that are great about a play structure is that kids can get more exercise, enjoy the nature around us, and kids will have fun. And maybe other kids will have fun on the play structure as well. Thank you for your time listening to my proposal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hearing none. Consent.
Move approval of items 1 through 11 on the consent agenda. Madam Mayor.
Yes.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Before you
Motion carried.
vote, oh, you already voted. Okay. Fine. Did you have something, Councilman Eaton, that you
Did.
wanted to say?
I had a question, my question was answered,
Okay,
I believe it is what it is.
okay.
Is that on the understanding of the contract negotiation?
Yes. For the court.
Yeah.
One of the questions I have, since we've already voted, is this was negotiated in April,
This was negotiated in April,
and we're just now getting it because,
because they are a separate entity than us, and they tried to put this thing through, and our staff felt the fact that it had not been ratified, and it had to be ratified. So signed statutes and did that, with no ratified contract. So,
okay.
This is for 2 years.
you see my name is not on that, we did not negotiate that contract, so.
That's all I have now.
Administrative report.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
the resolution that you requested for the charter amendment, the ballot language for terms of office is before you for your consideration.
You know, you guys looked at this at a special meeting, but we go back and forth with the Attorney General's office. And so we had to make some changes. And this is before you. I'm not going to say that this is the final change that's going to happen. You know, we're under a time constraint here.
Madam Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the resolution approving the charter amendment number 1, ballot language for the charter amendment number 1, section 4.4, terms of office. And for the public out there, all we are trying to, we're going to put a ballot initiative on in November to do staggered, hopefully, to do staggered terms, mayor and 2 council people, and then 2 other council people, and extend them to 4-year terms, so that there's more continuity and stabilization for the community. There's always some, you gotta have some kind of institutional legacy, even if it's for 2 years, for the next new people to come in down the road. It keeps some kind of continuity with the administration and the city government here. So there's always information that could be done in the past of why it's coming up to the new people. We may have made a decision, or the previous council made a decision based upon the information at that time versus 6 years from now. So you never know. But that's kind of why we're pressing and had this lengthy discussion on this ballot initiative. Thank you.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
during discussion, I'd like to ask the administration, you said something about this might not be the last of the changes on this.
Yes, the city attorney is currently in discussions with the Attorney General's office in the state of Michigan. They must approve all charter changes, and they've made some changes already, then they've made more changes.
Okay, if those other changes are mandated by the Attorney General, and it comes back to us, how does that affect the timing of,
As I stated in the beginning, you may not get this on November 12th. We're going as fast as we can. But as you know, this is a huge time with regard to elections out there. And we're not the only city that's doing something, but with everything that's going on with state and national. So it is a busy time. We're doing the best we can. I'm constantly contacting them every single day, pushing for an answer.
We hope we're okay, we think we're okay, but it's in
I can't
there,
guarantee it.
it's in their court.
Thank you. Know by next week. No. All we have is a motion and one support and discussion. We need to have
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Administrative report.
Madam Mayor, this is another charter amendment, this one brought to you by the administration after consultation with our legal staff. The city of Hazel Park has a ridiculously low threshold of signatures required to initiate a petition. As you can see, we have I have a chart here. We have the smallest number of signatures that you need. We want to deter any other future groups from coming in, composed of outsiders who want to make the city of Hazel Park some sort of platform for experimentation for their pet peeves and projects. So the administration strongly requests that we up the number of signatures required for an initiative to 5% of the registered voters in the city of Hazel Park.
This will also conform to what the Homeless Cities Act requires, that which is the same language.
Mayor Precinct,
Yes.
move that we approve the resolution approving the charter amendment number 2 in ballot language for charter amendment number 2, section 5.8 petitions.
support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
One question for discussion.
Yes.
Is this ballot initiative in jeopardy? Looks like this is one of their things.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it could. It may not. But again, this one's pretty straightforward. It's in compliance with the Home Rule Act. It's usually about the simplicity of the language and simply then can they get to. Both these are pretty straightforward and simple, but
Whether or
The
not
other
they
one
get
is-
confusing, no meeting time.
the other one is a little more complex than this. This one's pretty straightforward.
Approve resolution approving the right of the first refusal.
Yes, Madam Mayor, this is with respect to the land use program, and this is the homes that we wish to, and properties we wish to acquire from Oakland County. Mr. Campbell had planned to be here to discuss this issue, but he had to go home today, though. So we are exercising our right of first refusal for the properties that are attached for our land care program. We request affirmative vote.
Motion to approve, Mayor.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Yes.
Just a question. Our first right of refusal is not tied to the taxes owed or the SEB or anything.
It's tied to the taxes owed. It's not,
So if we were to acquire it, we'd have to acquire the taxes owed?
we do pick them up for taxes at some point. Yes.
But this does not mean that you're gonna have to purchase these properties. This just
We
tells
will
them,
exercise
put it on hold.
We put it out.
That's all I had, Madam Mayor.
Number 4, blue TCO, number 500, section 2.
Mayor,
Go ahead.
Mayor Precinct,
Yes.
move to approve the traffic control order as presented.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Award bid 1998.
Madam Mayor, the administration respectfully requests that you award bid number 1998 in the amount of $1,475 to environmental testing consultants.
Motion to approve.
Support and discussion. So this is just environmental testing for these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 listed properties.
That's correct.
No demo and just the asbestos.
Madam Mayor, administration, why was it the low bid, the accepted bid?
No experience with staff in order to do the job.
So, I mean, let me just explain. You know, when you put something out for bids, it's not necessarily the low bid you have to take. We have to take into
Right, lowest qualified bid, and this is a professional services contract.
So we have to take into account who can do the job, what their experience has been, you know, whether they're insured, all of those
Absolutely.
things that have to be taken into account.
Correct.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
All in favor?
Aye.
The motion is carried. Boards and commissions,
I have nothing tonight, Madam Mayor.
thank you. We have a tabled item.
We gotta wait for Jeff on that table.
Yeah, I think we should wait for Jeff on the table there.
Okay. So now we enter the show cause hearing.
You know, wait a minute, is anyone from 416 East George here? Okay, we did, okay.
I'm sorry?
I was just seeing if anyone from 416 East George was here.
Okay.
If anybody had showed, I would have pulled off the table.
Oh, okay.
But no one's here, so we can proceed to the other show cause hearings. Is anyone here from 1336 East Myers?
Yes.
Can you step up to the podium, state your name and address, and your plan for the property?
Chris Smiley, concerning 1336 East Myers.
My name is Barry Brickner. I'm an attorney, and my address is 2858 Bush Lake Road, Suite 201, Farmington Hills, Michigan. I know most of you from South Oakland Mayor meeting. I'm no longer on council. I'm a private practitioner.
My name is Mike Thompson. I'm a professional architect representing Mr. Smiley, 1210 Irving, right away.
Obviously, the reason we have this entourage here, we're objecting to the demolition request, and we're asking the council to rescind that and allow repairs to be made to the house, bring up the code. The amount of repairs to bring up the code would probably be around $3,000. There's other things that Mr. Smiley would like to do to the house. That's what these plans are, to be more intricate. But in any event, I'm going to let Mr. Smiley talk a little bit, and the architect explain what could be done to the property.
Good evening, council members. I purchased this property with the intent to restore the house and preserve its character in the neighborhood. And this is one of the several properties that I own in the city. At one time, we had 12 houses in the city. I completed 2 of the projects over the past 2 years and sold those houses to homeowners. Just like the land care program, I'm interested in restoring these houses and restoring them in such a fashion, using quality materials, green materials, bringing them up to insulation standards, and instead of fixing the houses up as cheaply as possible and sliding them together, I take a different approach with my projects, and I put in granite, and very similar to the land care program with what Ron is doing, it's friendly, except for the fact that I'm self-financed. I'm at a nonprofit with investors. My investors is me. And so this is one of 8 properties that I still own in the city. And out of the 8 properties, this property aesthetically on the outside looks the most normal and fits within the neighborhood. And I'm looking to do these improvements on the house to increase the square footage up to 1,300 from the current 1,000 square foot. And the property itself, since I've owned it, hasn't had any code violations, no grass, no weeds. The only notification I got on the property was when a tree fell, and that the tree needed to be removed. And amongst the projects I got, I have 3 other houses that I expect to be finished by Labor Day at the end of the market. And like I said before, I'm interested in selling my properties to people who are going to homestead the properties, not rent them out. And I've been watching Hazel Park. I'm looking to move into this particular property. There's a huge double lot for my dog to enjoy. It's got a wonderful 525 square foot garage for me and all my tools and projects that I use on my houses. And 1,300 square feet is probably double what I need for myself. But eventually, when I do retire and hopefully move to Florida or someplace, I'd like to see a family move into it. And make use of the square footage.
Do you have an idea on your completion date?
Right now, as soon as Michael wraps up the prints on this property, where he's expecting that to be by August 1st, and I'm going to submit it to the building department. I have another set of prints for a property I own with my cousins that was missing one item, the plot plan overall, and I'm going to be submitting that tomorrow to the city. But what my goal is with this is my friends who are roughing crew, if I can get this approved by around August 15, they're running about 4 to 5 weeks out. And I'm looking for them to rough it in and make it watertight so that come with the fall, with the rain or whatever, I'm free to run on the inside. And I'm looking to remove all the drywall, all the electrical, all the plumbing, and make everything perfect. That's how I like to do it. There's a certain porcelain I like to use on my floors, there's a certain granite I like to use for the countertops, and I want to put a 90% efficiency furnace in. I had a tree fall last November and hit the chimney, and so it worked out perfect because instead of damaging the roof, it damaged the chimney. And since I'm not going to need the chimney, I since then removed it. But I've done my best to keep the house up. I'm the only one on the block that edges his sidewalks and grass. I make sure the grass is cut every 10 days. I had an issue with the neighbor behind me that after Pam enforced some code violations, one day he tore part of his fence down so he could pull cars in the backyard. He took it upon himself to tear my fence down so he could gain access into his yard. And I was grateful to see as soon as I left the note of the building department for Pam, the next time I cut the grass, the car was out of the backyard. The fence was haphazardly put back, and him strewing wheelchairs and
Can we talk about this property? Can we talk about your property?
This is my property.
No,
Don't talk about the
we want
neighbor's
to talk,
property.
you to talk about what you're doing to restore this property. You're telling us the story, it's a nice
Excuse me,
story.
When the neighbor is putting wheelchairs and tires in my property.
We're talking about your property, a show cause hearing, your time's gonna be up by talking about other people's property, then you won't get yours in.
I'm talking about my property.
Okay, wait, Leonard? Okay.
Stay on point.
Things he would like to point out is the roof is relatively new. It's probably only, 3 or 4 years old. The house itself is vinyl, does not need painting. The roof on the garage is new also. The aesthetically from the outside, the house looks fine. It has work, obviously needs to have work done on the inside. But but I don't know that it actually fits within the ordinance as being a house that should be demoed. It has no fire damage, no water damage, no wind damage. The only thing that I can see that fits underneath the ordinance is that no one lives in it. And that seems to be the only reason why it's up for demolition. But as far as if you go past the house, you wouldn't even realize that no one was living there except for the sticker on the front that the city put on saying that no one could live in this house. So what he would like to do, well, I'd like to have the architect talk and explain what can be done, what they're planning to do with the house, and then I'll wrap up with, it probably wouldn't cost that much to fix it up to have it habitable, but he wants to make it much better than it is.
I'll keep this brief. Mr. Smiley, I heard that I do a lot of house additions, new houses, commercial work as well. So what we're doing is we're not only restoring this 1920s house, which has a lot of historical character, the apartments on the corner. It has a gambrel style roof. It's historic. It adds some diversity to the neighborhood, so it'd be a shame to raise this house. We want to add on to the character and expand the house and make it more usable. Blow out a stairwell, put in a new code compliant stair, add a breakfast room, really open up the plan with a more modern plan where the rooms flow together for openness, get some more daylight airiness into the space. And then make the upstairs 2 decent sized bedrooms and a bathroom upstairs that can be used. I'd like to put even a bigger addition on it if I could, but this is the rules I've got to work with the existing foundations and that. So it's a nice tight plan and an efficient plan that will offer your retail value as well. So that's, do you have any questions at all on the proposed design?
I'm looking at how much money you're going to put into the entire property overall.
With the addition and everything. Between 13 and maybe,
14 million.
yeah.
13 or 14,000. It would probably, to bring it up to code, it wouldn't take anywhere near that. And
Well, also bringing it up to code would include increasing the square footage of it.
Yeah,
It doesn't meet code for square footage, it's left vacant for a certain amount of time.
Well, the actual request from the inspectors did not actually raise the issue of square footage. I understand that you've increased your square footage on single family. And that's the reason why he wanted to do that. But he could bring it up to code without increasing, without, much quicker. But if you want a real quality home versus something that's standard for the block, it's up to the council obviously to do that. But to bring it up to code, it'd probably be a few $1,000s to bring it to actually increase the value. You talk $14,000. And that would be an addition.
We have a list of bathroom floor failure occurring, toilet collapsing through the floor. That
was just in the place. The toilet is intact. There's no degradation of the floor where the toilet was. The bathtub was actually raised.
It was the toilet collapsing.
Yeah, the toilet's right next to the bathtub. You need to sink.
What about the tree that's in contact with the garage?
that's not there anymore.
If you cut it down since 5 o'clock tonight?
As far as I know, there's not a tree contacting the garage.
You have a picture of it.
I was there, I rode my bicycle by this afternoon.
Yeah, there's
The tree is contacting the garage. Have the taxes been brought up to date?
I have not a payment plan with Andy Meisner.
No, he's not paid any taxes on any of the
That's
11
enough.
houses.
None of the other houses, like there's a tax bill up to $60-some thousand on the delinquent property?
I make a payment to Andy Meisner every month on all 11 houses.
And then by the time the new taxes come around, he hasn't even paid off 1 year.
You've posted bonds for this before. What happened to that?
I believe that the city has taken the bond.
You forfeited the bond, to be correct. You forfeited the bond.
Yes.
You've owned the home since for over 2 years. And to date, we've gotten an attorney and an architect.
He's had some family problems. His father was in hospice for a while, and all this has passed. We had surgery done on his hip for that for several months. But those things, obviously, that's going to slow you down a little bit. And he has been working on other houses in Hazel Park to make sure that you would have more quality homes in your town.
Are those homes also registered with the city as vacant properties?
I focused my energy on 2 houses that are sold.
Is that a yes or no?
What's that?
Are your other properties registered with the city as vacant properties?
No, they are not registered.
No, I've had him in court over and over and over and over again. And over and over and over again. And over and over and over again.
I assume the city attorney will have a chance to speak when we're finished, as opposed to interrupting.
Sure, but I'm just trying to paint the picture. We rescinded our previous motion from 2014 for you to do some work on this. Nothing's happened in over 2 years. Things do happen. People do overextend themselves. Every property that we've got listed here has been tagged and is delinquent on taxes. And looks like a house that could be fixed, but I have a problem believing that's what would be the result. I don't. I like the drawing. That addition on the back of the property looks weird, right, Mr. Thompson? That little weird addition on the back, and you can correct that. This little, the way it ties in with the
Current.
current.
Yeah.
But it looks odd.
Yeah, but the plan we have now brings it all together, builds on that
Right.
style and makes it.
Has this been, you're saying the toilet's fine, maybe we need to hear from our building official.
Yeah, we will, and then when they're done, let the building inspector.
I was just there. I was just inside the house before I came here, and the toilet is not sinking into the floor. It's flush with the floor. Yes, because I asked the question, he said, go look at the house. And the tub is also flush with the floor, it's not sinking in. So it's got a wood flooring with a wood on top of that, with a finished wood flooring. And in that room, there's a linoleum or some sort of vinyl flooring where the toilet is and where the bathtub is. Obviously, the floor has to be removed and changed, but it wasn't sinking in, I can tell you that.
Andy, I focused my energy on the houses that were eyesores in the neighborhood. This house, I mean, you drove by, it doesn't look, I mean, the house behind me is a hideous mess. This,
It's a continual battle.
yeah, and I wish the key in the house would disappear behind the headache involved, the guy keeps tearing down the fence and stuff. But I focused my energy on other houses and fixing up the exteriors. And with the resources I got and the time I had available, because I obviously would be at this work a full-time job.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I had a couple comments. If Mr. Carroll is done,
I'm finished, thank you.
on here, let's go back to May 13, 2014. City Council overturned a demo order to follow the motion was made. 5/13/14 show cause motion, homeowner to post $2,000 cash bond, sign affidavit of responsibility, pull all permits within 20 days, complete all repairs within 6 months. Mr. Smiley was also ordered to register other 4 other properties as vacant within a week and pay fees and continued maintenance of all the property. How are we supposed to believe you now when you pulled this out and we give you the consideration and the benefit of the doubt in May 13, 2014? And again, to go back to what Councilman Carroll said, it's been 2 years. Where are we supposed to have compassion upon you at this point when you showed us the only respect is keeping the property clean instead of actually moving forward with the property as you stated in your own affidavit to move forward with and have it complete within 6 months?
I posted the bond.
Money's not the issue here. We want the properties done.
Right, and I want the.
Yeah, it's not about our wanting a bond. The bond is to commit you to fixing the property. The property is what we want repaired. We want families in. You said to us 2 years ago, and I'm sure on a couple of these other properties, I'll have someone in there if I get a chance to. Where are we at now? We are at that dilemma. We are at that crossroads. Do we start going down the list and start demoing all your properties one at a time to get you to actually start doing something instead of sitting on your hands?
I haven't been sitting on my hands. I've been working on all the various properties and starting myself then by doing that. And
Hire some
I've
people to
changed
help.
my game plan now, and I'm focusing on no more than 3 properties at once instead of trying to work on 6 or 8 of them at once.
I'm not out against you, but hire some help.
Mayor Parisi,
Yes.
question for Mr. Smiley. You
Hold
own
on,
property.
do we need to, hold on.
Pardon, Mary Ann?
We need, wait, we need to turn the tape back on.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
Okay, Mayor Parisi.
Yes.
Question for Mr. Smiley. You own properties in other cities,
Yes,
and are they as neglected as many of your properties are in Hazel Park?
the properties that in the other cities, one of them's up for sale right now. And I have properties in Ferndale that are vacant that I maintain like this. I keep the grass cut and keep the houses secure and keep the roads out that are our future projects going down the road. And the city of Ferndale doesn't have a problem with that as long as they look aesthetically and they're not getting complaints from neighbors about the houses. They have no problem with the houses sitting vacant.
The reason I ask is that helps me to determine whether or not you are spread way too thin, which it appears that you are. As Councilman Webb said, more than 2 years ago, you said that you would complete the project in 6 months. And here we are 2 years, more than 2 years later, and virtually nothing has been done. You had mowed the grass, and I'm assuming shoveled or removed snow in the winter, and that's nice, but that doesn't cut it. That's not nearly completing the project, completing the job, completing the rehabilitation of the house. And I'm not convinced that you are in a position to do it.
In the past 2 years, I've finished 9 projects. And I finished 2.
Not in Hazel Park, you haven't.
I finished 2 in Hazel Park.
What are those addresses? Do you know off the top of your head?
I don't care to share that at the moment.
Madam Mayor, if they've got nothing else to add at this point, I'd like to move on and finish up. Do you have anything else to add?
The only thing I wanted to state is a quote from section 8.04.046. Order of demolition is the city council determines the building or structure has been substantially destroyed by fire, wind, flood, deterioration, neglect, abandonment, vandalism, or other cause, and the cost of repair of the building and the cost of repair of the building or structure will be greater than the state equalized value of the building or structure. The owner, agent, or leasee shall comply with the order of demolition. I assume you read that portion of your, I assume that's what you're going to be deciding under.
Have you assumed anything?
Part of it,
We haven't assumed anything.
No, I'm saying that I was just reading the code.
They know the code, we've been in court on this many times, and they've never been overturned.
If you're concerned about this,
for this property. I would not, I couldn't imagine
Roger?
that you're seriously thinking that you're
Roger.
gonna put 14,000 into this property. Done. I'm looking at a list of stuff that needs to be done. You're not even sure the tree is contacting the garage, which tells me you're not familiar with the property that you own. Okay, I don't, we bet this thing is gonna need 30 or 40,000 by the time you're done, not 14 or 13 or 14. So we'll hear from the inspector.
Roger?
Thank you.
Roger Prince, City, Gate Park Building Inspector, registered and certified with the state of Michigan as a building inspector official since 1989. Cost estimate that we came in, Mr. LaCarroll, Councilman LaCarroll was pretty much on the money. It was between $35,000 and $40,000 just to correct the existing list. Flooring is moving excessively throughout the structure. Staircase is hazardous, dangerous. The tree that's in contact with the garage would be well over $4,000 just to have that removed. Well, I was hearing conversations such as anywhere from 2,000 something to 13,000. That included an addition. The flooring, just the leveling of the flooring alone, leveling the flooring staircase comes to approximately $15,000. It all has to be torn up, sitting on the crawl space. Don't know what's going on yet. Cost could probably far exceed that depending on what's discovered once we remove flooring and expose framing members and so forth, and probably lack of additional support members that need to be put in place to adequately secure the frame so we don't have movement occurring any further. Yes, the toilet, we had photographs of it, I don't know if it's in your packet or not, but it was literally sinking into the floor because of the rock that was occurring in the wet area, which was the bathroom. It just goes on and on with this piece of property. Again, Mr. LaCarroll was pretty much right on the money on his estimate there. He figured around 30, 35. We come up with 35 to 40, and it could exceed that. Any other questions?
Any questions for Mr. Pinch from the council?
Mayor Parisi, yes.
Yes.
So in short, your opinion is that the house is way beyond rehabitable using a tax value as a guideline.
Yeah, well, that's at 50% SCP, exceeding 50%. It's considered non-conforming because of the square footage, 795 square feet.
Yeah,
And the bottom line is we're exceeding 50% of the SCP on repairs, so 50% would be around $7,400, and we're up to around 35 or 40 just to correct what's going on in the structure.
Without adding the additional square feet, bring it up to 1,200 square feet that's necessary.
Correct.
thank you, Mayor Parisi.
I have a question. Why wasn't the square footage mentioned in the repairs to be done? Is that not considered a repair? Or?
That's correct. That's where it ends up on the hearing officer. The hearing officer makes decisions on what's going on as far as whether we need to increase the square footage because it's not conformity. This was just a general building inspection report. Had nothing. That's a zoning issue with the
Okay, so it would have to be brought up in square footage in order to comply with the code.
because of the amount of repairs which exceeded the 50% of the
Right.
SCP.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we understood that it doesn't comply with the code. Although his plans would make it.
Yeah, I haven't seen them, nothing has been presented to the building department.
Yeah.
We had a hearing a week ago or so, and Mr. Smiley did mention he was intending on doing an addition to the property, but that's been mentioned long ago, and it's ended up here from you folks.
Mayor Parisi, another question for
Yes.
Mr. Pinch. Mr. Smiley stated that he put a new roof on the house, perhaps 4 years ago or so. Was there a permit?
I couldn't answer you that, there's more than one of us that can conduct inspections in town. I'm the lead, basically, when it comes to these tag, per se tag structures. I don't recall being out there on a roof or anything like that. I couldn't answer you at this point whether there was an inspection.
I don't expect you to remember every permit issue.
If I may, Madam Mayor, it's noted that this is 795 square feet, which is the square feet of the building. However, according to the blueprint plans, it says existing first floor is 627, second floor 423, which is incorrect. So they're only adding 249.11 square feet to allegedly bring it up to 1,300. That is incorrect, because there is an livable square feet that can be added on.
I couldn't answer that because that obviously is through the assessment department, you know, as far as square footage of the property.
So there's no, but there is no assessing or building plans with the city that shows that it has this many square feet in it existing as it's stated on this building plan.
Not to my knowledge.
More questions for Mr. Hearing? Madam Mayor, do you want to open up the public hearing?
You were speaking 36?
Does anyone wish to speak about 1336 East Myers? Forward, state your name and address for the record, please. Speak loudly.
My name is Mike Pratt. I live at 1320 East Myers. I have some pictures that I just recently took of 1336 on Sunday the 10th. I'd like to hand them out to the council, please. See.
You have dates on these photos?
I'm sorry?
The dates on these photos?
No, I took them with my cell phone.
When did you take them, Mike?
The 10th, 10 o'clock Sunday morning. As you can see, in picture number 1, the house has been posted. Picture of the posting, I believe the posting is in 2013. Page 2 is going west and then south. Gives you pictures of the windows. They're in total disrepair, half open. The cable box has been open. Page 3 shows you the electrical services, the 2 electrical services. The reason there's 2 electrical services, if you look at the picture, the electrical service, a tree had fell and bent down the service pole, is same as it has been in the past several years. Moving around, page 4 would be the back of the residence. The back door, as you can see, is in total disrepair. The duct tape on the glass. The back door has been nailed shut. As you can see, the picture of the entry steps are totally decayed, cracked. The porch is cracked. Moving around to the other side of the house is picture page 5. Shows you pictures of off of Hughes. Again, the windows are in disrepair, half open. Pictures at the bottom of the crawl space go underneath. They're adequately closed. So obviously, we're having some rodent problems in the neighborhood. Obviously, you can see why. Moving to page 6 will be pictures of the garage. The previous tenants, before Mr. Smiley purchased it, just cut a hole in the side of the garage for an entry door because it does not have an entry door. Only had an opening for vehicles to enter. That's been boarded up with a padlock. Moving on a little bit further, you can see pictures of the garage door, pictures of the south side of the garage. There's a lean-to with debris. Bottom picture on page 6 is the picture of the back of the garage. Obviously, the painting has been painted in several years.
And for the record, Mr. Kraft,
Yes.
is the tree still leaning on the garage?
Yes, sir, it is.
Thank you.
Page 7 shows you the The driveway leading up to the garage is cracked, numerous cracks. Picture in the top right-hand corner of page 7 is some tools where someone in the neighborhood, I was assuming, brought their car up there and did car repair and left the tools there. Bottom of page 7 is the fence that Mr. Smiley was talking about. The neighbor took down, drove the car through his lot, through his yard, into the neighbor's yard, 1536 East Main. Code enforcement did come out, issue a violation, they drove it right back out. Page 8 will show you the chimney that is still there. The bricks are still laying on top of the roof. As you can see in the picture, the roof style is a barn style. They're just laying up there waiting for the next windstorm to come down.
Excuse me, the chimney is still there?
Chimney is still there.
No, it's not. I have pictures of the chimney that were taken today.
He's got the floor, please don't interrupt.
Chimney still.
Sunday was there.
Sunday was there. And there was someone Sunday, Mr. Smiley, and I believe he said his architect was there Sunday afternoon for a short period of time. I did see them. So picture 9 just kind of gives you an overall view. You can see the trees that protrude up and over the house, up and over the garage area, up and over the sidewalk area along the run, goes north and south on Hughes. And lastly, page 10. Those are pictures of showing that the trees that overextend into the neighbor's property. Unfortunately, that neighbor is 88 years old, couldn't be here tonight for health problems. Again, they extend over to that property, over her garage, over her house. As Mr. Smiley said, one tree did come down. The trees are even a hazard, let alone the house. I'm hoping that the city council, taking into consideration Mr. Smiley's owned it for a long period of time, has done no repairs. I've lived in the city over 50 years. I lived at 1320 East Myers for probably 32 years. Lady who lives next door to me has lived in the city of Hazel Park for 60 plus years. I grew up on that street. I knew the original owners of that house. I've been through at least 4 owners. The second owner is the people that did put the roof on it. The gentleman that was renting the house was a roofer by trade. He put the roof on it. So that roof on the house has been on there minimum 10 years. Minimum. So I thank you for your time, take your consideration to move along and send this to demolition. Unless you have any questions for me?
Mayor Parisi,
Yes.
just one quick question.
Sure.
Mr. Kraft, to be clear, you have no interest in this property other than your being a good citizen, is that correct?
That is correct.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak on this property? Any residents from the area or citizens first before?
Yeah, real quick, that's Helen 305 West Milton. I had to take a call. I missed most of the comments, but I would just say I had personal experience with Mr. Smiley and his follow-up with a couple of properties in my neighborhood that are still, I think the criteria was abandoned and neglected, and he made his case for why they should come down. Thank you.
Any other residents or citizens?
The only thing I wanted to show you was the picture of the roof of the chimney from that house. I don't know if that makes a difference, but. Good question, guys. Thank you, Mr. Thank you.
I just had one comment too, just to Attorney Janet. These square footages are measured out to out for the square definition of gross square feet. So those measurements are accurate.
We're looking at livable square feet. What you may consider as square feet may not be livable under the ordinance. I'm looking at what has the city records are.
According to the definition of floor area total, is the definition I'm going to, and it's the outside wall. So that adds up, those square footages add up to 1,300 square feet.
Madam Mayor, you feel free to close the public hearing, and the administration is going to stick with our recommendation for demolition on this. Again, I think the case has been clearly made that the property should be
Parisi?
Yes.
I move that we follow the hearing officer's order to demolish the property within 30 days. And if the owner does not do that, then that failure to do so will result in demolition bid being awarded to the lowest bidder.
Support.
All in favor?
Yeah, question for administration. What for the city attorney? What is, is he gonna be able to, if we demo this, is there any way we can compel him to pay the taxes within 30 days of demolition? Is there any way to compel the taxes to be paid since our county treasurer decided to make payment plans on these
Well, I'd
properties?
have to contact Andy Meisner's office, but the thing is that he does not have authority to make deals on behalf of the city of Hazel Park. I can go after him and file a lawsuit against him for the amount that I owe to the city.
On this house? I would like to, do you need that in a motion?
No.
Do that administratively.
It doesn't have to be.
Also, one other thing, in the manner to be open, and Mr. Johnson and I know each other personally, okay? Just so everybody knows that.
I do want to make one thing public though. We do try to work with people that are serious about making our properties better. We want to try to encourage home ownership. As the applicant has said, he wants to make it a homeowner type establishment. But he's shown a lack of enthusiasm to pursue this house over the last 3 years. And I think we've been over backwards to accommodate over the past. And he hasn't shown any effort to move forward with this property up until the point, again, comes to a podium and on a verge of a demolition. Thank you. Still thinking.
This is, you know, this brings to us, this is probably the worst kinds of decisions we have to make. I mean, emotionally, the worst kinds of decisions we have to make. Everything else is, you know, economically cut and dry, but, you know, you have a great speech. I mean, we've talked to you a number of times sitting here, and your ideas and what you can do with houses is great, and it's the kind of thing we need in Hazel Park, but it just doesn't get done. And that's it.
Roll call.
Councilman Selman,
Yes.
Councilman Webb,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Keaton,
Yes.
Councilman LaCuro,
Yes.
Mayor Parisi.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
'48 West Robert, Joe Cross here. Is there anyone here from '48 West Robert? Did you want to open up the public hearing? Mayor Parisi, do you want to open
Yes.
and close the public hearing? Anyone wishing to speak? Go ahead and close it.
This has already been ordered to be demolished. Mr. Escher spelled the follow through with the demolition order. He asked that the city council then force the demolition of this property as soon as possible.
That is the administration's recommendation.
Could you repeat that, please, Ms. Strong?
Yes, this was ordered previously to be demolished. Mr. Escher will start pulling permit, well, started with a disconnect the utilities, never followed through. So what we're asking is that the city council then take bids for demolition of the structure as soon as possible.
Mayor Parisi?
Yes.
So moved, and I have some discussion after.
So, with your support.
This piece of property goes back to when I was on the zoning board of appeals, and there was a special land use for Mr. Asho, and he agreed to all the terms then, and then the whole process of him doing everything that he was supposed to do took so many years that I for one, am very happy to make this motion and to see this property demolished. The people on West Robert have had to live with this building, and it's four-legged residents, sometimes two-legged residents that would sneak in and break in and shelter themselves and do whatever they did in there. It's just a neighborhood nuisance, and we need to get rid of it. Thank you.
I believe you hit all the topics I was going to, most of them, that I was going to hit on, that he bought this property, and it's a shame that he did not fix this property up as he said he would, since he didn't get his variance for his extra parking. It would be nice if he would have committed to that. Once he got his little gas station up and running, he forgot about his other commitments. That's all.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
1116 East Hayes. Anybody for 1116 East Hayes? Madam Mayor, the administration recommends that file a hearing officer to demolish the structure within 30 days. Failure to do so result in demolition bid being awarded to the lowest bidder.
Yeah.
Does anyone wish to address 1116 East Hayes?
Hayes.
Seeing no one, Madam Mayor, you may close public discussion. Again, Madam Mayor, members of council, the administration recommends demolition on this.
Madam Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to file the hearing officer's order to demolish the structure within 30 days. Failure to do so result in demolition bid being awarded to the lowest bidder of 116 East Hayes.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 4. 336.
336 Sonoma. Is anyone here from 336 Sonoma? Madam Mayor, you can open the public hearing for the record. And close it. Madam Mayor,
Yes.
the administration respectfully requests that City Council follow the hearing officer's order to demolish the structure within 30 days, and the failure to do so result in a demolition bid being awarded to the lowest bidder.
Motion to approve.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Any new business? Any new business?
Maybe I'd like to bring up what Tiffany was here saying. Did she say her last name is Tusky?
No, she was talking about Tusky Park.
Dusty Park.
I know, but
I think I read
it's
it.
very possible her father is,
Tiffany Cobb.
I'm not sure. I see her rollerblading around the parking lot. Could we do something? Can we look into the piece of equipment there at that park?
We did do a GoFundMe account. We had several kids show up looking for a play structure over there. Unfortunately, there was very little money raised. This year, all of our additional funds are going to go in for the match for the playground that's going to be created in honor of the Truba family at Green Acres Park. There's not going to be any additional money. There's not going to be a play structure this year at Tusky Park. We'll try to look into that. We have had requests in the future. That's something that we could look at and try to do possibly in a year or two, begin to put together and put away some money for that.
Or maybe City Edge Church might be, they're aware, they're over there all the
They're
time.
aware. That is one of the things that
They're
we have
great.
discussed with them. They have, City Edge Church has kind of adopted that park, and they've done a great job in terms of making repairs and renovations to that park, and they use it for the community barbecues that they host with other members of the religious community and faith-based community in Hazel Park. And we'll speak with them. This may be another thing that we can maybe put together some kind of a community fundraising effort on. But again, our funds are limited. This is not the first time. We've had kids from that area come and request a structure. And, unfortunately this year, we're going to have to help with some of the installation costs. But the Truitt family's made a substantial investment of, I think, well over $30,000 in terms of that stuff. So we're going to have to help with the installation of that. It's simply a bang for the buck situation over there, and that's where the vast majority of our equipment dollars are going to go this year. But in future years, or if there's sufficient support for the GoFundMe account, we're willing to take a look at it and make something happen over there. This was Jimmy Pinkley's project when he was our administrative assistant, and he worked very hard. Just there wasn't a significant amount of money raised.
Thank you.
Communications from department heads.
Department heads? Yes.
I just want to say,
Yes.
on behalf of the police department, with the tragedy that happened over the weekend in Dallas, we received a ton of support from the community. Pizzas were brought in, donuts, water, Gatorade, cupcakes, all kinds of different things. And well wishes from everyone. We really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else like to speak?
Again, I just want to thank everybody for their cooperation and patience as we relocate over here during the construction phase of the court renovation project. I've made no secret about the fact this isn't my favorite project that we've ever undertaken here, but I hope that it will go as smoothly as possible. Judge Getter assures me that we are on target for budget and a little bit beyond our time frame, but he still hopes to hit the December target for returning to the city of Hazel Park. So I want to thank you all for your cooperation. Again, echo what Lieutenant Buchholz said about the tragedy in Dallas. It was shocking and it was horrible, but it's been wonderfully encouraging to see the amount of support that we're getting for our police officers here in the Hazel Park community. And I want to thank our residents for rallying around our police department, showing them how much they mean to us. That's all I have.
Anybody else? City Attorney?
I have none.
I have nothing.
Anybody up here?
I'll go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to send out my condolences to all the family members of all those fallen officers. It is a tragedy when you hear it on TV all the time about an officer being hurt or injured or killed in the line of duty, and firemen as well. They're there to help us. And people, I think, lose sight of that purpose of what their job is. They have families at home. They have to go home and take care of those families. Their kids rely on them as well. Unfortunately, there's some people in this world that just don't take in consideration that that person in that uniform, because they put the uniform on, doesn't have a family. It's a job they do, it's a thankless job that they have to do to support, take care of, and protect us from those type of elements. And my hat goes off to all those fire and police officers and first responders that are there to take care of us. And thank everybody for coming out, and please bear with us with the changes. I think we got a nice little council room here for the next 6 months.
This actually, I think, works out well. We're gonna have to look at sound system issues and things like that, but it's actually worked pretty well.
Thank you.
Councilman Sutton.
Thank you, Mayor Parisi. First, I want to thank Mr. Kraft for his initiative in presenting us with the photographs and the comments on one of our cases this evening. Nationally, my goodness, hate has again reared its ugly head, and I just would ask everyone to look inside your heart and dial down the hate and turn up the love, because the hate is not going to gain us a thing. Dead police officers and dead civilians don't do anybody any good. And now we have court officers in our own state who have lost their lives because of some misguided individual who, again, probably had a lot of hate in his heart. I will end again with, if you love somebody, please tell them so. And if you have children, hug them every day and tell them that you love them. Thank you, Mayor.
Madam Mayor, I do have to interrupt because Tom Solomon has caused me to remember something very important by bringing up the shooting at Berrien County. One of our former members of the Hazel Park family had his first day at Berrien County yesterday, and that was my former administrative assistant, James Franklin, who is the new elections administrator from Berrien County. So we want to wish Mr. Franklin great luck in his new career there. I'm sure he will do well at whatever he does, and we are so very grateful that this happened on the floor and he was uninjured by this whole process. But again, another Hazel Park intern that's gone on to do great things, and as I told him, we expect great things from you, Jimmy, and we'll watch your career with great anticipation. And so, Sean, Jared, just let you know, being a Hazel Park intern can lead to some pretty big things. So, congratulations to Jim Payne, a fine young man. Thank God he was uninjured by the whole situation.
Councilman Carroll.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I was listening to some of the services this afternoon about, for the 5 police officers, and they were there protecting protesters. And one of the protesters was still telling the story when the shooting starts, the police officers were protecting them. You know, they didn't know who was being shot, but that's what police officers do. So it was pretty hard to listen to that. We couldn't listen to it all. So our hearts go out to everybody. And I want to thank everybody for coming out and putting up with this room, and we'll see how long it takes to get that done. Watch out for the kids on the bicycles and everybody in the streets, and have a great summer.
Mayor Pro.
Yes, I mean, what can you say about all the tragedy that's lately been befalling us? Officers, court officials, civilians, it's just mind-boggling. It's almost like, back when I was a little younger, and you turn on the TV and watch the Vietnam War in front of your face, but that was a little farther away. Here it is today. I'm not smart enough to know what all the answers are to these problems, but certainly our condolences and prayers go out to all those involved. Again, Farmers Market, Green Acres Park, Sunday, 10 to 2. Some art for the kids going on out there. They can make their little projects. Thursday, 6 o'clock at Sellerman's, Planks and Politics, fundraiser for the Hazel Park Madison Heights Democratic Club. Other than that, summertime's here, obviously, when it's 90+ degrees when we walk out of here. So everyone have a nice time. Thank you for coming out and participating in the democratic process, even in these chairs.
I'm sorry, Madam Mayor, I gotta tell you one more time, thank you, Arnie Shipman, for reminding me of something that if I hadn't made a statement about it, I'd have been remiss. This community lost a giant last week when Wilfred Webb passed away. And again, I can't say enough about the impact that Wilfred Webb had on this community. He was a kind and gracious man. He was always willing to support this community. He was always supportive of Hazel Park. He helped raise money for the Promise Zone right up to the end. He will be missed. And, this was a man with great success and did great things in this community and very few setbacks and defeats. Unfortunately, I managed the campaign of one of those candidates who did defeat him once, and then Wilfred came back and won in the rematch. And afterwards, he was very gracious enough to call up the young campaign manager, Mr. Pullman. He took me to breakfast, and he told me, Ed, whatever you want to do with your life, I will help you. Whatever you want to do, there are people in this community that will stand behind you. Just let me know what I can do for you, Ed. And I was too proud to ever pick up that phone and make that call. But I always remembered the kindness and the generosity that he showed me, that I certainly wouldn't know by him. And, in later years, he really, like I said, I got to know him much better, and I came to respect him and really admire him for his commitment to his community and his character as a human being. So, rest in peace, Wilfred Webb. You will be missed, and you will never be forgotten.
He was at Hazel Park Line for 61 years.
61 years.
Very supportive.
So, again, thank you, Arnie, for reminding me to make that notice and that notification, because the tragedy in Dallas was terrible. And in this, week of so much bad news, to celebrate the life of a man like Wilfred Webb is an example for all of us. So I just want to bring that up and let his family and friends know he has our deepest condolences.
Motion to adjourn?
Yep.
Support.